Hello, radiant beings, and welcome back to another episode of Your Soul Essentials. I am your host, Sylvia, and I am honored to have you here as we journey into the next frequency activation, Gene Key 51, a powerful transmission that shakes the soul out of its slumber and calls us into true inner awakening. Gene Key 51 will be active from April the 4th until the 10th of April, inviting us to reflect on how we respond to shock, sudden change, and disruption. This is not about chaos for its own sake, but about the deeper soul initiations that come through life's unexpected moments. In this episode, we will explore the shadow, the gift, and the Siddhi, translated into Agitation, Initiative, and Awakening. Astrological expressions through the planets, including Chiron and Black Moon Lilith, the fixed stars that aligned with the initiatory energy of this Gene Key 51, Galactic Astrology connections like Orion, the solar Logos, and the Pleiadian frequencies, some essential oils to ground shock and activate inner peace, some mantras to guide your process through awakening, and the final thoughts to help you integrate the initiatory path of Gene Key 51. So take a deep breath, because Gene Key 51 does not ask us to stay comfortable. It asks us to become courageously alive. What is Gene Key 51? Gene Key 51 is the archetype of sacred initiate, the one who awakens not through comfort, but through disruption. This key invites us to examine how we respond when life surprises us, tests us, or throws us into unfamiliar territory. We have the frequency of shadow, and it is connected to agitation. At the shadow level, this gene key shows up as reactivity, impatience, and anxiety. Agitation arises when we try to resist the unknown or to control the uncontrollable. Life's shocks feel threatening rather than transformative. You can ask yourself, when change hits me, do I close down or stay curious? Then there is the frequency of gift, and it is connected to initiative. When we lean into disruption, it becomes a catalyst for growth. The gift of initiative is the willingness to act with courage when the moment demands it. You begin to respond rather than react, trusting your inner spark to guide the way. You can ask yourself, where am I being asked to rise and take aligned action? And there is the frequency of Siddhi, and it is connected with awakening. The Siddhi of Gene Key 51 is a spontaneous awakening of consciousness. It is the electric shock of divine presence moving through the body, burning away illusion in an instant. In this state, there is no fear, only freedom. You become a living embodiment of the eternal now. And you can ask yourself, am I willing to be transformed by the unknown? Gene Key 51 reminds us that the initiatory path is not a punishment. It is a gift from the soul, designed to awaken deeper truth and present within us. Gene Key 51 sits within the degrees, like 25 degrees to 30 degrees of the sign Aries, a fiery and dynamic zone ruled by Mars, where individuality, courage, and confrontation with the self take center stage. This degree range is not for the faint of heart. It is the zone of bold initiations, fierce independence, and rebirth through fire. Let us explore how this gene key expresses through the different planetary alignments. The Sun. Your life path revolves around catalyzing transformation, both for yourself and others. You may be a natural initiator, someone who triggers awakening through your presence. There is a reflection here. Where do I shine brightest when I dare to disrupt the norm? The Moon. Emotionally, you may be deeply sensitive to sudden change. Your soul seeks emotional grounding amidst uncertainty. You can ask yourself, how can I become a sanctuary in the storm, starting with myself? Mercury. Your voice carries the power of insight and disruption. You speak in sparks, truth that electrify and awaken. You can reflect, am I using my voice to stir inspiration or agitation? Venus. You may attract or create relationships that stir the soul awake. There is a deep invitation to allow love to be transformational. And you can ask yourself, where am I resisting intimacy because of fear of change? Mars. You are bold and reactive, but also courageous. You're learning to balance instinct with presence. You can reflect, or you can ask yourself, is my boldness aligned with purpose or driven by agitation? Jupiter. Your soul seeks expansion through initiation. Your spiritual growth often comes in waves of sudden insight or upheaval. You can ask yourself, how can I embrace the unknown as my greatest teacher? Saturn. You are here to master resilience. Shocks are tests that deepen your soul's strength. You can ask yourself, how do I stand tall in the face of disruption? Uranus. You are lightning. Breakthroughs come fast and unexpectedly. And your role may be to shock the system and open new timelines. And you can ask yourself, what outdated structure in my life am I ready to shatter? Neptune. Your awakening path is deeply spiritual and intuitive. Insights come through dreams, visions, and altered states. You can ask yourself, am I allowing divine disruptions to guide me inward? Pluto, a master initiator. Your presence transforms people. Your shadows are intense, but so is your potential for awakening. And you can ask yourself, what transformation is life calling me to surrender into? There we have the North Node. Your soul is walking the path of becoming an awakened disruptor. You are here to initiate others through your own courageous journey. And you can ask yourself, where am I being asked to lead by leaping first? Chiron. Your wound may stem from early shocks, sudden loss, abandonment, or trauma. But your healing is also your gift. You show others how to move through fear into transformation. And you can ask yourself, how can my pain become a doorway to presence? Black Moon Lilith. There may be a primal fear around chaos or loss of control. But beneath this lies raw divine power. And you can ask yourself, what would it feel like to meet disruption with sacred surrender? This Gene Key 51, when seen through astrology, becomes a map of how each archetype within us responds to awakening energy. It shows where we collapse and where we are destined to rise. We know now that Gene Key 51 is positioned in the last degree of Aries, a region charged with raw fire and electric momentum. It aligns with stars that amplify awakening through disruption, often stars associated with bold change, divine insight, and transformational challenge. Let's take a look at 3 powerful fixed stars that are associated with this gene key. We have the star Baten Kaitos on 21 degrees in Aries, and this star is located in the constellation of Cetus, the whale. And Baten Kaitos is often associated with exile, breaking away from the past, and sudden upheaval. Though traditionally seen as difficult, it carries a great potential for those willing to be transformed by adversity. It challenges us to trust the storm as a guide, not a threat. In Gene Key 51, this star supports the shadow's breakdown as a necessary prelude to the awakening breakthrough. We have another star, and that's the fixed star Alnilam on 24 degrees in Aries, and this star is one of the 3 bright stars in the Orion's belt. And Alnilam symbolizes centralized divine intelligence. It transmits the power of focused inner vision and is often associated with ancient initiatory wisdom. Its connection to Gene Key 51 enhances the spiritual warrior archetype, one who faces shock and comes out wiser, clearer, and fully awake. And there we have another star, the star Mirach, on 0 degrees of Taurus. While slightly beyond the Aries range, Mirach in the Andromeda constellation is worth noting for its supportive, feminine guidance. It offers stabilizing grace to the turbulent fire of Gene Key 51, helping the soul land after it has been cracked open. It brings beauty and balance after the storm. Together, these stars form a triad of shock, insight, and stabilizing grace, a celestial mirror of Gene Key 51's initiatory journey. Gene Key 51 holds also powerful resonance with galactic soul lineages whose evolutionary journeys have involved shock, activation, and light-infused awakening. Let's explore some of the frequencies that may be familiar if you hold this key prominently. We have the Orion energy of the higher octave, and many Orion starseeds carry deep cellular memories of conflict and polarity, but also of catalytic awakening. At the highest frequency, Orion souls are here to disrupt illusion and activate remembrance. With Gene Key 51, you may serve as a mirror, someone whose mere presence activates others, even if uncomfortably at first. We have the Pleiadian lineage. The Pleiadians, especially those connected to Alcione, are bringers of the heart-based light and accelerated transformation. Their frequencies often shows up as gentle but firm awakening nudges, visions, synchronicities, and energy shifts that can feel sudden but divinely orchestrated. If you feel connected to this lineage, Gene Key 51 may express in you as a spontaneous spiritual downloads or radical shifts of consciousness. And we have the solar Logos frequencies. Souls connected to the solar initiatory current carry the codes of divine ignition. These are the sun beings, light bearers, and ascension guides who feels radiated awakening. With Gene Key 51, this lineage expresses as electric presence. You shine so brightly others can't help but awaken in your orbit. Gene Key 51 in galactic terms often signals a soul contract to initiate others into higher consciousness. Whether through a teaching, healing, triggering, or simply walking through fire and showing what awakening looks like on the other side. You are not here to keep the peace, you are here to stir the soul awake. The energy of Gene Key 51 can bring shock, emotional upheaval, and rapid transformation. Essential oils can act as an energetic allies, helping us to anchor the body, regulate the nervous system, and integrate higher awareness as we navigate initiatory passages. Here are some beautiful oils to support this frequency. Neroli, deeply calming to the heart and nervous system, and neroli soothes agitation and allows you to return to peace after shock or emotional stress. It gently reminds you, you are safe to feel, and you are safe to awaken. Frankincense, a master oil for spiritual presence and energetic integration. Frankincense opens the crown while grounding the root, helping you hold the intensity of inner shifts. Black spruce stabilizes and strengthens. Black spruce is excellent for restoring balance when you feel cracked open or overstimulated. Its forest frequency invites your body to come back to center. Or you can use cardamom, an activator and enhancer of flow, especially useful if shock has frozen your system or scattered your focus. Cardamom brings clarity and warmth to the mind. And there is the oil of clarisage, known for its connection to inner vision and the third eye. Clarisage supports you in seeing clearly why a disruption is occurring and how it may serve your higher evolution. When you want to work with these oils, there are some ways to do that. You can diffuse during a meditation of journaling, apply to the soles of the feet and heart space, or you can hail them deeply during breath work or when facing emotional turbulence. Remember, essential oils carry consciousness. Let them remind you, your system, that you are capable of riding any wave. And there are some mantras to anchor the energy of Gene Key 51. Let these mantras serve as sacred affirmations, calming the mind and activating the soul as you navigate the frequency of this Gene Key. I meet the unknown with an open heart. Or, I am not afraid of disruption. I am being initiated. Or, each shock is a doorway to deeper presence. My awakening is not a crisis, it is a return. Or, I am safe to be changed by the light. Repeat these mantras during your morning practice before important transitions or whenever you feel disoriented by life's unexpected waves. And here are my final thoughts walking the path of the sacred initiate. Gene Key 51 reminds us that awakening is not always gentle. Sometimes it's a lightning strike to the soul, a disruption that cracks the illusion and lets in the truth. These moments, tough, disorienting, are sacred invitations from your higher self. You are not breaking down, you are breaking open. And you are not being punished, you are being initiated. Every spiritual warrior walks through fire. But it's what we find on the other side that matters. A deeper truth, a renewed sense of self, and a heart that is courageously alive. If this episode resonated with your journey, and if you felt the energy of Gene Key 51 moving through your life, I'd love to hear from you. Share your reflections in the comments, subscribe for more transmissions, or pass this episode along to someone who may need a gentle or electric nudge of awakening. You were never meant to stay small. You were born to awaken. Until next time, and may you walk the path of the sacred initiate with clarity, trust, and light in every cell of your being. With love and reverence, Shanti Ishta, and thank you.